Hey guys, Devin here, aka World's Okayest Fisherman, and I just want to put a quick disclaimer at the beginning of the video. This is a pretty long video, but I go pretty into depth on how to tie the drop shot, okay? I put links below to different timestamps, so if you want to jump ahead and see a specific part, you can do that, but be sure to stick around until the end because I'm going to tell you guys how you can win this Calamus X2 bait casting reel. I'm going to be giving it away very soon, all right? So stick around to the end and enjoy the video. Thanks.
Hey everyone, Devin here, aka the World's Okayest Fisherman, and today I wanted to do a video showing you how to tie a drop shot rig. Before we get started, I need to go ahead and hydrate with my Extremis tumbler here, World's Okayest Fisherman. Always stay hydrated. So the first thing you want to do is take inventory of the things you're going to need to tie a drop shot setup. The first thing you want to do is pick a good braided fishing line. I go with the Cast Pro 13X Finesse braided fishing line. It is incredibly strong. It is incredibly smooth and very, very sensitive. And because a drop shot is a finesse technique, you want the most sensitive line you can get. And so this is it. If you don't want to pay for the 13X Finesse, another fantastic fishing line is going to be just the regular Cast Pro braided fishing line. I go for 10-pound test because it's still strong, but it's going to be very small diameter for good casting distance, and also it won't scare the fish. The next thing you want to do is pick some form of a leader. Now, I go with 6-pound fluorocarbon. The reason I go with fluorocarbon is it is practically invisible underwater. The 6-pound is because it is an extremely small diameter line, and you want the sensitivity, and you don't want to spook the fish if they see your fishing line. I use Berkeley Vanish fluorocarbon as my leader material. Next thing you're going to want is your drop shot weights. You can either go with the standard lead drop shot weights, which you can get 5 of these at a time for $1 at Walmart, or you can go with something a little more expensive but more sensitive. You can go with tungsten. Either way, I prefer 3/8 ounce as my standard weight, just because I get really good casting distance and it works at the depth I like to fish. Another good weight you can go with is like a 1/4 ounce weight if you want to go with something a little bit lighter. And then the last thing you want to get are your hooks. So Gamakatsu octopus hooks are pretty good. They don't have to be red like this, but go with the 1/0 size. Essentially, you want something that is going to be really sharp and a small wire diameter, because you aren't going to be setting the hook like you would if you were power fishing. What you're going to be doing is when you feel the fish take the bait, all you're going to do is you're just going to reel up into them. And the finer wire hooks will pierce through the mouth a lot easier than the heavy wire hooks. So another great one you can use, which I don't have any with me right now because I've used them all, is the 6th Sense mosquito hooks. They are very, very good hooks. All right, let's talk about tying your knots and tying your leader to your main line. So right here I got my Para G2 medium light from Cast King. I found this to be a really good finesse rod because it is sensitive. It's lightweight, and it's a great bargain. The other thing you got to look at is your reel. Right here I got a Cast King Zephyr Black in the 2000 size. I'll leave a link below and you can see my review on this reel and rod setup together. So I already have 10-pound Cast Pro 13X Finesse braided fishing line on here, and I have a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. As you can see, I've been using it to fish Ned rigs, but I'm going to cut this off and we'll tie the leader so you guys can see how to set everything up. Now the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to attach your leader to your main line using an FG knot. An FG knot is probably one of the strongest braid to leader knots you can tie, and it's also incredibly small, so it goes through your line guides very, very easy. So you get maximum casting distance and you don't damage the knot. So what I want you to do is take the braid that's already on your fishing rod and reel, pull it kind of tight. So I'm using the bed of my truck to kind of lean the rod against. I'm pulling tight on the line, pulling it over the tailgate here, and I'm just leaning into it. And what it's doing is it keeps this line tight. You can put it in your teeth. That's another good way to do it. But whatever you can do just to keep this line tight. Then you're going to take your fluorocarbon. You're going to wrap it around your finger a couple times so that it's under control, and I leave about a foot of length. Then what you're going to do is lay your fluorocarbon across your line, and wrap it around one whole time, like that. Pinch your knot, and then do the same thing, go in the opposite direction. So over the top and underneath. So that's 4 wraps. I do 26 total wraps. 5, 6. If your line comes loose, just tighten it again. 25, 26. Now, look at that. Look how thin that knot is. I got 26 wraps. Pinch your knot. You can let the tag end of your braid loose at this point, okay? And now you can just lay your fluorocarbon and braid together, and you're going to take your tag end of your braid and you're just going to tie a couple overhand knots, okay? So bring it over the top here. An overhand knot's just one of those like knots like you tie your shoe. So get it up through here. Put it in my teeth. And you want to make sure when you tighten the knot, you tighten it right at the base of your FG knot. Alright, now that I got my first knot, my first overhand knot tied, you can see that's what the knot looks like right there. So now what we're going to do, we're going to wet that knot a little bit, just with a little spit. And then you're going to pull on the fluorocarbon, you're going to pull on the braid, and you're going to tighten that knot down just a little bit. Okay? Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our braid tag in and we're going to tie 2 more overhand knots for a total of 3. So there's your knot. As you can see, it's a really tiny, smooth knot, and it's really, really strong. Now all you got to do is cut your tag ends, and you can cut them pretty close. That way it goes through your line guides a lot smoother. Don't cut your main line. There you go. Look at that. I'm pulling as hard as I can. I can't make it slip or break. So that is your braid to leader knot connection that you want to use right there. Next, we're going to tie the actual Dropshot rig itself. For tying the actual Dropshot rig, I like to use a really long leader section. I use probably about 9 feet. The reason I do that is it separates the main line from the bait so that any fish doesn't see it. Additionally, if I happen to break off, I don't have to retie the leader every time, because that FG knot can take, a couple minutes at a time. It can be a little time consuming, so it's best to just tie a really long leader, which will act as a shock absorber, and then if it breaks off, well, I can just tie another Dropshot rig without having to tie the FG knot. So to measure out my 9 feet, all I do is I use an arm span, because I'm about 6 feet tall. So I pull about 6 feet, and then I pull 1 arm length out to my chest. That's about another 3 feet, and that's it right there. Now I have a 9-foot leader section to tie my Dropshot. Now there are multiple ways to attach your hook to your main line for your Dropshot setup. I'm going to show you the most popular method, which is the Palomar knot, and then I'm going to show you a secondary method that I think is a little bit easier to tie. So let's start with the Palomar knot. With the Dropshot setup, you're going to want to suspend your bait about 1 to 2 feet off the bottom, depending on where you're fishing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook, and when it's in the water, you want the hook facing up. Okay, so what you need to do for the Palomar knot is you need to start by running the main line down through the top of the eye of the hook. Okay, and we're going to get about 2 feet or so of our leader through there, maybe a little bit more. That's about 3 feet right there. And then you're going to run your line back up through the eye. There we go, just like that. And now you can see I got the line, I got 2 pieces of line with the hook suspended in between. So the important part about tying a Palomar knot is you do not cross the line. If you see I just twisted the line, you want to keep the line straight and not twisted, like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your looped end like this, and you're going to tie a loop around your main line here, making sure they're not crossed. So like this. Put back through the loop. And then you're going to start pulling down. And this little loop you have over here is you're going to take your hook and you're going to put it back down through there, like so. Wet it, and then pull the whole knot tight, just like that. So there you go. That's your Palomar knot. It's a very, very strong knot to use with any rig. What you want to do now is you got your tag end. So pull on it, and you can see how the hook is going to sit when it's in the water. If you have an issue with your hook not standing out, because the hook should be out at an angle like this. If it's not like that, what you can do is you can take your tag end like this, and I got about maybe a foot right there. You can take your tag end and you can put it back down through the top of the eye, and that will force the hook to stand up a little bit more straight when you pull it tight. So there you go. It's going to stand up just like that. So now what you're going to do, final step, is to take your tag end and tie your weight of choice on. And you can use just a simple overhand, double overhand knot for this, because in all honesty, if you get your weight hooked up on something on the bottom, you kind of want it to just break off. Alright, so if you have a difficult time tying the Palomar knot like I did the first couple of times, I'm going to show you a shortcut knot that I like to use for drop shot setup sometimes, because it allows me to tie it quicker and it also lets me choose how high above the bottom I want to fish my bait. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your tag in just like before, and you're going to put it down through the top of the eye of the hook. You're going to choose about how high off the bottom you want to be fishing. So that looks like a good length right there. Then you're just going to make a loop like so. Like that. So you see how I got the loop here in the hook. Now you're just going to put the hook through the loop 5 to 6 times. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, and 6. And now you're going to wet both sides here and here. And then what I like to do is I'll take the hook and I'll put it between my teeth, and I'll pull on both ends, this end and the tag end, and tighten the knot, and it'll tighten on both sides of this hook. So there you go. As you tighten it down, you see it forms like a little knot at the top and a little knot at the bottom. You just tighten that down a little bit more, and voila. You can see as I pull tight, that hook actually stands out to the side on its own, which is really nice. So I've had no issues fishing this. I've had no break-offs or anything. I'm sure they're coming. It doesn't seem like as strong of a knot as the Palomar knot is, but it's a lot quicker to tie, and you can choose, you know, your height off the bottom a lot easier. All right, so there you go. That's it. Last step you got to have here is just tying your weight on the bottom. You can do whatever method you want. You could do the double overhand knot like I did before. You can do the improved clinch knot like I'm doing here. And there you guys go. That's a drop shot setup. You got your weight at the bottom. You have your hook attached to your fluorocarbon leader with either a Palomar knot or that little shortcut knot I showed you, about 1 to 2 feet above the weight. You got about 9 foot of fluorocarbon leader, 6-pound test, attached to your 10-pound braided fishing line with an FG knot. So I hope you guys found this demo helpful. If you have any other demonstrations you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging with me till the end of the video, because now I'm going to talk about the giveaway. So I'm going to be giving away this Calamus X2 bait casting reel. Okay, Calamus is a sister company of Cast King. This reel's awesome. 6.7 ounces, has 5 double shielded stainless steel bearings, so it's good for saltwater, and it has 17.6 pounds of drag. So really cool reel. I got 2 of them myself, and I'm excited to give this one away. But in order to win, what do I need from you? First, I need you to be subscribed to this channel, okay, because I'm going to check. Second, I'll put a link in the description below to my on the water review I did of the Cast King Zephyr and Perigee medium light combo that I have. It's the exact one that I did in this video using all the same line and everything for Dropshot, okay? I need you to first go to that video. I need you to like it, give it a thumbs up, and then I want you to go down to the comment section. If you already Dropshot, just let me know what knot you like to use to connect your braid to your leader, your main line to your leader. If you don't Dropshot and you're gonna try it, and this video was helpful for you, just let me know if you're gonna try the FG knot or if you wanna try something else, okay? I'm gonna give you guys until September 25th, that's next Saturday, in order to go do all this, okay? And then I'm gonna pick a winner and I'm gonna post the video. So good luck to all of you out there. I hope you guys win, and we'll see you guys next time.